And welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video. And today I've got something quite a bit different for you, something that I've never done on the channel before. It is basically going to be Barcelona monthly rewards, and what we're going to be doing today is giving out 4 different awards based throughout the month of January. I've basically been asking for your guys' opinion in my community tab. You've been voting on polls for goal of the month, for player of the month, for individual performance of the month, and for the best team performance throughout the month of January, and I'm going to be going over your selections for those different results, and we're going to be seeing who really has performed the best throughout January on the Barcelona front and exactly how we performed and who deserved these awards. So thank you to every single one of you that's got involved. I really do appreciate it. I think it's a really good way of getting you guys to interact in the videos. Obviously I want to be hearing your opinion, and this is a really good way of doing that. So please let me know in the future, guys, if you want me to continue this series, you want me to do it each month, because if you do enjoy this video, guys, I'll certainly happily make it a feature on the channel each month, getting your feedback from the month that we've had and then giving out these awards as you voted for your favourites. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. Let's get on with the awards, and we're going to start with the biggest one of all, Player of the Month. Now, before we even start on this, a few people have suggested it, and I tend to possibly agree. If I do this again in the future, there is a very good chance that we'll have a Player of the Month award, and then we'll have a Player of the Month award that's not Lionel Messi, because it's very, very difficult when you've got Messi in your team to give it to anybody else. You could have voted for Ivan Rakitic this month. 2% of the votes that he got. He was brilliant against Real Betis. He's really found a lot of confidence in this new type of role, playing a lot central, maybe a bit more deeper than he's used to, but he's been really, really good throughout the month of January, and I think he did deserve his place among the top 4 players of the month. You could have voted for Jordi Alba, who got 3% of the votes. He came in 3rd. He was brilliant against Celta Vigo in the first half, his combination play with Lionel Messi, and right throughout the month, really, we have been seeing the combination between those two players, and we saw against Alaves how vital Jordi Alba is that our system succeeds, and he's really, really big in that role at left back. You could have gone with Luis Suárez, and I think it's really, really harsh, to be honest, that Suárez doesn't get Player of the Month this month. Even though Messi has been outstanding, Luis Suárez really has done incredible things this month. You look at his month in general, 8 goals in 7 appearances, really, really impressive in the games against Sociedad, games against Betis, where we really needed Suárez to step up this month. He has done exactly that, and he's very, very unlucky there to be in 2nd with just 19% of the votes. But overwhelmingly, your favourite, who wins the Player of the Month award, Lionel Messi. 76% of you believe that Lionel Messi was the outstanding Player of the Month, and I can understand that, to be honest. Messi, in terms of his goals, 8 goals in just 7 appearances, exactly the same stats as Luis Suárez. But the thing about Messi, you've always got that overall game, that overall impact on games. He's not been brilliant just in scoring goals, he's been creating goals. His overall play in the midfield area when he drops deep, he is so effective, and we've seen that right throughout January. He scored in our first La Liga game of the month. He got 2 in the Cup against Celta Vigo before he was actually taken off in that game, so he might have even got more if he was left on for the full 90 minutes. He scored a stunning free kick, which we'll be coming on to, against Real Sociedad. 2 goals against Real Betis, a goal in the Cup against Espanyol at home when we progressed at the Camp Nou, and of course very recently the winner against Alaves that gave us all 3 points. Messi's impact in January has been outstanding, and for that he's undisputably the Player of the Month. Up next, you've got the Goal of the Month award, and there were some really good contenders for this. I've just mentioned it, that goal against Alaves, Lionel Messi's winning free kick from time, smashing the ball past Pacheco with just a few minutes to go, and that goal itself received just 11% of the total vote. So if that goal is only receiving 11, you can understand how good these other 2 goals are, because we move on to Luis Suárez's goal against Real Sociedad. I'm really going to have to here, guys, disagree with you, because I think personally, and it's only a personal opinion, that's the beauty of these kind of voting scenarios, because you can all have your own opinion and we can all have different ones. But for me, the goal of the month was Luis Suárez against Sociedad. 35% of you also agreed with me on that one. I think the goal, the moment that it was scored in, the big impact that it had on the game was at 2-1. Just after half time, Suárez comes out, Messi puts it on a plate for him, he puts it out wide. Suárez then, taking it in his stride, doesn't even take a touch, whips his foot around it. Geronimo Rulli is stranded. He's not getting anywhere near that ball. It's an unbelievably good finish from Luis Suárez, which gave us that lift, got us level in the game, and of course it was then Suárez that went on to give us the lead, get the 3-2 goal, and I just think that goal for me was absolutely outstanding, and it did a world of good as well for Luis Suárez's confidence. But with the majority vote, with 54% of the votes, Lionel Messi wins the Goal of the Month according to you guys with his free kick against Real Sociedad, which, don't get me wrong, is also an absolutely sensational goal. One of the best free kick goals from Lionel Messi that I've ever seen, and that is saying something. And in general, to be honest, he's 35 yards out. Again, the magnitude of the goal is really, really big because obviously 3-2 to the good, but Sociedad could have come back into the game. Messi made absolutely no problem with that. He was going to break the curse of the Anoeta, and he did exactly that. And with that, he very nearly broke the net. He smashes the free kick from so far out. Geronimo Rulli in the goal just watches it glide into the net. He doesn't even move. It's a stunning goal from Messi. Both of them absolutely sensational goals and really pivotal in getting that win at Sociedad, which was massive for our season. And now we are going to move on to the Team Performance of the Month award. This was awarded obviously for the best performance from the team as a whole in terms of the game that we went into, the game that we played, the result that we got. You could have voted for the second half against Real Betis. That one, of course, ended 0-0 after the first half. The second half we came out and absolutely blew Real Betis away. That one finished 5-0 in the end. That received 14% of the vote. So again, if that performance, as good as that was at the Benito Villamarín, if we completely swept them apart, won the game 5-0, and that's only receiving 14% of the votes, you can understand how good the other two performances were. We move on to the first half against Celta Vigo, and to be honest, I would say this was as good as Sociedad. Now, I might be biased on that one simply because I was obviously there in the stands for this game, and it was absolutely jaw-dropping. It was breathtaking. The football, the speed, the pace, the intensity, everything about our game on that day in that first half was absolutely perfect. And don't forget, this is after a very, very difficult first leg, so we were coming into this 1-0. The game, the tie, was very, very close, in terms of who was going to get to the next round, and we absolutely blew Celta Vigo away in that first half. 4-0 it finished at half-time. There was Messi-Alba combinations, Messi scoring twice, Alba assisting, then Messi returned the favour to Jordi Alba, Luis Suárez getting in on the act as well, and that performance for me was absolutely incredible, and that performance got 25% of the votes from you guys, but I can pretty much agree. 61% of you believe the team performance of the month was that game against Real Sociedad at the Anoeta. The way we turned it around, the way we finally broke the curse that had been lasting over 10 years long. It was a brilliant performance in the second half. Again, we went into half-time 2-1 down. We went 2-0 down in the game. Paulinho got us back in it. Luis Suárez puts us ahead with that brilliant goal. He follows it up then. Vermaelen gets his head on the ball, assists Luis Suárez, a very, very clinical finish. And then the goal that we just spoke about, an absolutely wonderful goal from Messi to cap a fantastic display. And like I say, that win, that confidence that it gives us, gave us a massive lift going into January, going into the rest of January, and also as we continue in the league unbeaten this season. It was a massive result of Sociedad, and that was an unbelievable performance from the entire team. And the final award in today's video is going to be the individual performance of the season, and this is just based on one player doing incredible things, and you can all guess who wins this, but we're going to go through the alternatives anyway. You could have voted for Jordi Alba against Celta Vigo. He got 3% of the votes for his assist to Messi, for his goal in that game as well. Brilliant play between the two of them. You could have also gone with Rakitic, who also picked up 3% of the votes. His performance against Real Betis, really key, obviously, in the first goal, but also had a hand in further goals as well. That was a great performance from him individually. You could have gone with Lionel Messi versus Celta Vigo. 17% of you went with that one. 2 goals and an assist in that game like we just spoke about. You could have also gone with Luis Suárez's performance against Real Sociedad. 24% of you went with that, obviously massive in turning the game around. We've spoken about those quality goals, but you have all gone with Lionel Messi against Real Betis in that second half. 52% of you believe that Lionel Messi's play against Betis was absolutely wonderful, and I completely agree. 2 goals in that game, an assist for Luis Suárez, but it was his overall play in that second half. He completely took the game to Betis. He was running rings around them, and I'm sure that moment all leaps to your imagination. He picks the ball up in his own half. He's surrounded by Real Betis players, and he just weaves his way out, and he makes it look incredibly simple. And that's always the amazing thing with Messi. He makes the impossible seem absolutely realistic. He pulls it off time and time again, and he really does defy belief at times. Even Betis fans on that day were beside themselves. They couldn't believe what they'd seen, and that's what Lionel Messi can do to you. So obviously, in this month, Messi comes out on top. Suárez was brilliant in terms of his goal scoring and appearing in the big moments. Rakitic and Alba as well were very, very good right throughout the month of January. But I would like to give out one final award, and it is the special award of the month. And I'm going to give this to Ernesto Valverde, simply for getting us through this month of January, because we have had a lot of games in this month. 8 games in 24 days. That works out at a game every single 3 3 days. That is really, really difficult to do. Obviously, we've got a squad of players, but it's still difficult to play that often and still play at that high level. We have won all 4 of our La Liga games this month, and we have, in the process, progressed to the Copa del Rey semi-finals. So a massive well done to Valverde, a massive well done to every single player who has contributed to our success this month. A really, really impressive month indeed. And all that I can hope is that this continues into February, into March, and into the latter stages of the season. So leave all your thoughts down below, guys. Let me know your choices. Maybe you disagree, maybe you agree with some of the picks that we've had in this video. And of course, guys, do let me know whether you'd like to see this video continue as a series each month. At the end of the month, we go through the awards as they've happened throughout the course of that month. So let me know all your thoughts and your honest opinions in the comments below, guys. I will see you very, very soon indeed with more videos. But until then, as always, Vasca El Barça. Barça! Barça!